There's nothing worse in the universe than thinking that you hear someone you love and turning around and it's nothing but a shadow. Sin, I am surrounded by ghosts. Every time I hear a laugh for a split second, I can convince myself that it's Trayvon and not someone that wants to arrest me. When I'm in line for a coffee, I can picture it's JR wrestling for change and not some stranger that I don't know. When I'm on the road and switching through channels, desperately trying to find a radio station that isn't playing news about you, I can half delude myself into thinking that it's Iris singing terribly among the switching channels and not some fluke between transmissions. And I think that's what makes it hurt so much. How could all of those people, the ones that laughed and the ones that could never find the right change and the ones that sung ridiculously off key, how could they have betrayed us all? You were always so goddamn paranoid. I don't mean like changing the lock on a new safe house and double encryption and Caesarean cipher on email accounts. I mean changing the passwords every 3 hours, torching new bases within days of setting them up, and keeping everything, and I mean everything, on a need-to-know basis. You kept us on a need-to-know basis. I suppose it was a smart and necessary thing. I mean, one of them did rat all of us out and left us all to die. Guess that was the one thing I didn't screw up for us. Leaving that diner, the one on Estrella, was even tougher than I had anticipated. They had posted those robots, the ones with the fingerprint and the facial structure sensors, at all exits. I was lucky. Another Korean girl went before me and tripped the alarm, and I was able to slip away with my hair tucked into a cap before the rest of them could even figure out what was happening. I could hear her screams and the last vibrations of a sickening crunch as I drove away. You know how the government tends to have a taste first, confirm later sort of policy. I drove farther and farther and farther, but no number of miles was able to get those goddamn screams and the crunch of God knows what out of my ears. I half expect to hear my name on the radio alongside yours later, but the only words I hear attached are still at large. I suppose hiding was perhaps the only thing I did better than you. I heard you on the radio today. I've been avoiding screens like the plague. Granted, it's not that hard when you're driving all the time, but at diners and gas stations, I always pick the booths and seats not facing the screen with the rolling news. Sad part is, it's nice to see your face. If I can strip away all the layers of anger and betrayal and hatred and sadness and nostalgia and context, it's lovely to see your face. You really are still beautiful, Sin. The reporters weren't lying when they called you the face of the revolution. A revolution is not something you can run without captivating the hearts of millions of displeased people across the planet who had long since stopped giving a shit. I still tune into our old radio station sometimes. It's long since abandoned, of course. Nothing but static and ghosts left behind. Sometimes I can fool myself into thinking that I hear a whisper of a voice long since captured or dead. There's nothing I can fool myself into hearing today. I can't remember when I stopped caring. 'Cause it wasn't when I started law school, and it wasn't when I fell in love with you, and it wasn't when we organized our first protest, and it wasn't when we had that god-awful fight. It wasn't when I first even thought about running away, and it wasn't the first person I saw get shot for this godforsaken revolution, and it wasn't when I finally packed my bag, it wasn't when I decided not to leave a note, and it wasn't when I looked at your face for the last time, and it definitely wasn't when I drove away for the final time. Who am I kidding? Maybe I secretly do still care. I'm worried because I've been thinking over and over and over again about who else could have possibly survived, because you trusted those people, Sin. And above all, there really was nobody else's opinion or judgment I cared about more than yours. I'm on the road again, and I'm thinking about how much you said that you loved it. I remembered those nights when it was just us, and our hands touching, and you talked about how secretly you wished that everything, this grand change that you wanted to evoke, you just wished that it wasn't your job, that somebody else could care enough to take up the mantle of changing this impossible and unforgiving planet. When it was just us, it wasn't a revolutionary and a failed lawyer. It was two girls in love with each other more than anything else, and an entire world of possibilities. Then the sunrise would come and chase the lights of the city and the stars away. And it wasn't just two girls in love anymore, and we became a revolutionary and a failed lawyer again. God, I wish you were here. And that we could fix this together.
It Was Never Just About the Revolution is a production of the Multiversal Podcasting Network. It's written, produced, and created by Jacqueline Cho, performed by Sunny Chang, composed by Rachel Leotta, and edited by Lottie Dance. Visit the links in the description below to see full credits and transcripts. Our amazing logo was designed by Arunika Kanan. Be sure to check out more of their work on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr at Avocado Artist. Have any comments, questions, or just want to say hi? Email us at iwnjatrpodcast@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at iwnjatrpodcast. Special thanks to all at the Multiversal Podcasting Network. If you're interested in seeing any more shows from the network, check us out on Twitter at multiversalpods and Tumblr at Multiversal Podcasting Network. Hey, if you really like this show, we really think there's another show that you would love. Code 1033 is a buddy cop audio drama also from the Multiversal Podcasting Network. It's brilliantly written, acted, and is run by the fantastic Lottie Dance. You can find them on Twitter at code10_33 and Tumblr at code10-33podcast.